Hello everyone and welcome to our YouTube channel. This is again a kind reminder that this video is part of a video series that will cover building a classifier using PyTorch from the very beginning till testing. So stay tuned and let's get started. We had this PyTorch classifier notebook from the last time. I will leave it for now because today I would like to share my learning experience about loading data to Google Colab. So I have prepared this notebook for you. So the first question that comes to your mind every time how can I connect my data to Google Colab? What if I have it on a local hard drive? What if I want to have it from somewhere else? What is the situation with my data when I upload it to Google Colab to the virtual machine? What will happen with my data? Especially that if you already know, Google Colab will only be connected up to 12 hours. After that, everything you have uploaded will vanish. So in this video, I will explain to you how you can load some data from your local hard drive or download it to your local hard drive. I will explain to you how you get some certain data from a website that is already available there, and how you can connect your Google Drive to Google Colab, and I will explain what will happen when you have data that is bigger than 15 gigabytes and other possible ways to handle data with Google Colab. So let's get started with loading data from the local hard drive. So just one thing to keep in mind, that whenever you work with Google Colab, you are only allowed to use the virtual machine up to 12 hours. After that, everything you load to this virtual machine will disappear. What I mean by virtual machine is that of course the machine that you are using from Google, where you have the GPUs that you want to use. So this is a big disadvantage, that if you are for some reason disconnected from the internet, or during the running you had this problem of certain out of memory, CUDA is out of memory or something, you usually restart the runtime. In that case, at some point you will lose all the data that you upload to this files here. So this is very serious disadvantage. The other thing that we could say as an advantage is whatever you use generally is very limited in the amount of data you are allowed to upload. So one advantage that Google Colab gives you is that they allow you to have up to 45 or 50 gigabytes space. However, I don't really recommend it because I have already tried it with very big data, and after I waited for a long time, I lost it just in a blink of an eye. So I don't want that to happen to you. However, I will show you how to do it, because when I first have seen it, it was confusing to me. Then I tried it myself and it worked out. You can always check for further information that are available from Google Colab by going to this link. It will take you to such a notebook on Google Colab, where they explain several ways of handling data. And you can see that they show you how to upload it from local file system or download it, and how to connect Google Drive and PyDrive, and also REST API, also Google Sheets. However, you can check it out by yourself. I will mainly focus on the loading from local hard drive and Google Drive. So to start, we will see how to use this kind of code. So for example, I just copied that code to my Google Colab. So let's say I have some data on my downloads and I want to upload it to Google Colab. What I will need to do is to put the name within quotation marks and the length or basically the size in bytes, without quotation marks. You can check for this from the link I have told you about. So you can see here they had quotation marks around the name and nothing around the length. The curly brackets are not important, so you don't really need it. So you just have to run this code with using the name of the file. So in my case, I would like to upload a file that is named uploading data colab 1, and its size is 9,000 bytes, basically 9 kilobytes. So you can see it here. If you are on Windows, you can tell about the size from the properties by right click and go to properties, and you can see it there. I didn't have the feeling that it really matters if it's whatever size it is, because I have tried it at the beginning with 9 bytes and it's 9 kilobytes and it worked, and I now tried it with 9,000 bytes and it also worked. So I don't really think that it really matters. Maybe it's just for checking that this file is what you need. So let's run this cell and see what will happen. What basically will happen is that you will get a very small user interface, like choose files, and we click on this choose file, and we choose the file we want, and then open, and you can see it printing that it's 100% done and that you're saving this and uploading this file. So I think since it's just a print statement, it doesn't really play a role whether you put quotation marks or curly brackets, or you put 9 bytes or 9 kilobytes, because eventually it's just a print statement to let you know which file you have uploaded. The real business had just happened when you have clicked choose file. So where does this file really goes? You can have a look at it by clicking here and then files, and here you still cannot see anything, so you have to click refresh, and now you can see it here. There's another way that is much easier, and I don't really know why you would need to use a code for it. It's just to go to the same place where we have uploaded our first file, and there you can see that there's a button called upload. So you just click on it and you will have the same exact window, and you choose your other file. Let's say it's now uploading data colab 2, and I click open, and you will see now a reminder. What I have told you about is that the uploaded files will get deleted when this runtime is recycled. So this is a really serious thing. If you have a big data, just don't do it here. It will be very frustrating for you. So now you can see that we had our first 2 experiments, loading from a local hard drive, using the code, and using the upload button. Now I will tell you how to load some data from a website. Let's say I have some data that I know that are available online and they are public, and I need this data to be uploaded to my Google Colab so I can work with it. What you will need to do is just like when you use command lines, by using wget and provide the link to the data you have. So I already know that my data is in this link, so I will just copy that link and put it here. I will need, let's say I need the category to name JSON file that is available on a GitHub repository from Udacity. I'm sorry I cannot show you exactly the URL because it's like it was a private one and I had it from there, but it's just an example. And a zip file that is named flower data tar.gz, and now you just run the cell and you will see that it's already downloading. You can see here that the JSON file is already downloaded, and we cannot see the flowers. So what to do? You refresh. Yes, that's right. Now we have the tar.gz file. As you know, we cannot really work with zipped files, so we have to unzip it. To do that, you will need to import, because it's a tar file, you will need to import tar file, and then you need to open it and extract all and close. So you just run this code because I already have it. I will share this notebook with you. You just click here, the cell, and it will be unzipped. And again, to see it, we click refresh. Now you can see that we have it. We will see test folder, train folder, and validation folder. Now we have this annoying, so to say, folder or file that we don't really, that we will not be really using. So you can delete it either by right click on it and you will see delete file, or by using the command line remove -r flower data and the name of the folder or the file, and you click run. And to see the difference, you click again refresh and you see. So now let's say I have several zipped folders, how to get them. In some cases you have very nice people that will provide you where you have really big data and so many zip files. You sometimes have these nice people that will provide you with a code to use, and then and they also provide you with the URL that you need. So you just have to copy paste this. In this case I have used for my master thesis. It's like a chest X-ray dataset that is provided online and publicly shared. So they have this batch download zip files. I copied this code and pasted there. Of course, I will not really download this data in front of you because it's really huge data set that sums up to 45.6 gigabytes. But also it's another way to use. I think this seems to be easier, but anyway, the URL is provided, which is very nice. So when you run this cell, you will get like downloading images underscore 01, downloading images underscore 02, etc. for each one of the URLs. And when it's done, you will get download complete. Please check the checksum. This data will go also here. So when you lose the connection or you have to restart the runtime, this data will disappear, so it's not recommended. I tried to do the unzipping of the data in a for loop, but unfortunately I had some errors, so what I recommend in such case to unzip one folder at a time. And then remove all this folder. One tip for removing is that you don't really have to right click on each one of them and then delete. You can just use this command line !remove -r for recursive, and then you name all the folders you need to, or files or zip files you need to remove. So let's say I wanted to, if I have all these images zip files downloaded to here, I will remove, for example, the first one and the second one. I can do it for so many files, as much as you want. I haven't run all these three cells because, like I said, it's too much data. You can have a look at it, but it's basically the same way generally. For further details about uncompressing, what if I have another kind of zip files. You can have a look. I recommend having a look at these two links. One of them is the first one. It's like how to use the command line for unzipping. So you can see how they do zipping and unzipping of a zip files, tar files, and gunzip files, where you have a combination of tar and gunzip. You have seen we did it at the same time, so it's not a problem. And another link is this one that I recommend too. So also again here the tar.z file, and if you want to unzip it to a certain directory, and many other cases like again the gunzip files, the tar, and that's basically the same. So you can have a look at both resources. It's just for your information. But as you have seen before, we have done it in a little bit different way, but both of them are the same. Now we move to another way of loading the data. So we are convinced now that it's not good to have your data on the virtual machine because they will disappear at some point. Especially if this work is so important for you, or the data is so enormous that it's frustrating to download and re-download and wait again for decades. So the solution we have now is to use Google Drive. It's highly recommended, and you can just put your data on Google Drive and save it, and save whatever you have, like checkpoints or any pickle files you need, to the Google Drive to use it again. In this way you will never lose anything because they are saved to your Google Drive and uploaded and downloaded to your Google Drive. This kind of solution will allow you to use up to 15 gigabytes. Of course, if you need more space, you will need to upgrade and therefore pay some money. But it's, to be honest, the very best solution that I have tried until now, and it's straightforward. You just have to run the cell to mount the drive, and then you will get such a thing. Enter your authorization code. Where to get this code from is by clicking on the link they provide you, and this will take you to your account. So choose the account where you want the Google Drive to work on. You will see several things that they are asking you to allow them to see and edit, create, delete, etc. All this stuff. Of course, you have to click on allow, and then you have this code they want. Just click on these two rectangles. They will copy this code, and you go back to your Google Colab. As you can see, it's still circulating because it's waiting for you, and you right click and paste. Now it appeared. If it doesn't appear for you, you just click on refresh. As you can see, I can see what is inside. So I can see my drive, and I can see testing Colab, the folder we have worked on, and the two notebooks that I am working on. Just to, so you know, you can also check for that if you run the command line ls. So you can see what is inside my drive. So as you can see, it's having a problem with reading my drive together. So I forgot to put quotation marks, and this should work now. And you can see we have the folder testing Colab, as you have just seen with me. Then, so we have just mounted our Google Drive to Google Colab. How to do the data uploading and downloading thing. You actually have to do it manually. So let's go to our my Google Drive. I'm now in my drive in testing Colab folder, and then here I right click and say upload folder or a file. I have already downloaded the folder of flowers, let's say, and I want to upload it here, so I can use it with Google Colab. If you have it unzipped already, you can use upload folder. So I have this flower data reset on my downloads. It's always a good idea to unzip the file before you upload it to Google Drive. Then it's easier and you don't have to really do all the coding thing. On macOS, it's of course just by clicking on it twice. And it's already unzipped. We can delete this one. And you can see that's basically the same one that we have already deleted from the Google Colab. So we have in it test and train and validation folder. So now I want to move this folder to my Google Drive. How to do that is basically so easy. By right click, now I'm in my Google Drive in the testing Colab folder, and I will click on upload folder. Because if you choose file, it will only upload one image at a time. So and we choose this folder and we click upload. It's asking me now if I trust this site. Of course, it's my hard drive. Of course I do, and we click upload, and as you can see, it's uploading. And let's go back to Google Colab. As you can see, I still cannot see it here, so again, refresh. It took me several times refreshing to see it here. So now I can see flower data and the folder and the 3 folders inside. To be able to use it later as an image directory, you just have to provide the right path. So let's check this one. So it's gdrive, my drive, then it's testing Colab, not Colab folder. And then we have flower data. Later we will be using this line of code when we build up our classifier, but this will come later. Now I want to talk about the case where I have, like in my master thesis, I have this big data of the chest x-rays, and I cannot use Google Colab directly because it will disappear and it's very annoying to download this data again and again. So what is the solution? Unfortunately, there is currently no free solution, so you either have to use something called FloydHub. You can have a look at it here. Of course, here you can sign up for free, but when you need such a big amount of space, you will need to subscribe or pay some fees. So basically, in my case, I should have paid 10 euros or $10 per month. However, I didn't do that. I'm using now the GPUs available at the university. Another solution, also you have to pay some amount of money, is just upgrading your Google Drive, because as you have seen, it's so easy, and even if you have to restart the runtime, even if this disappears or something, you just have to mount it again and voila, you have all your data again. If you find some other solution, please let me know so I can update this in the description or something, or maybe in the notebook. it's always good to have the experience from each other, so just let me know. Other two possible ways to handle data would be like to get your notebooks and data and everything from GitHub repository and the Dropbox. This is really explained well at the following link. It's basically from the Google Colab itself. So if you just need more information, I really recommend going to the Google Colab itself. They really have provided so many resources that are explaining this kind of things. So just click on this link and you can see that now they are explaining how to get public notebooks directly from GitHub. It's just a small thing, they explain it themselves, is that usually you have to provide usually you get a URL when you open a GitHub repository, right here. The thing with Google Colab is that you have to provide something before this GitHub thing. You don't really need to do that manually. You can generate such a link in one click by this Chrome extension. Of course, you need to use Google Chrome because, yeah, we are using Google products. And yeah, just let's do it together. Open in Colab and then you add this extension to Chrome. Add extension. You can see it has popped up here. It's telling you that if you are if you want to add this extension to all your devices, you have to turn on synchronizing. Yeah, why not? So let's do it and turn on. And now it's ready. You can also go to this link, but instead of going to their Google Colab GitHub repository, you can just choose another one. So let's try the first one. Let's click on that. As you can see, you can either enter the URL of a GitHub repository or search by organization or user. And that's up to you. Let's see an example. Let's say I have this GitHub repository, so I will copy it, or just copy the URL would be easier, and paste it here. You can see that they have already by themselves recognized the repository and they have recognized the branch and all the files that they have. So they have several notebooks. Then you have to choose one of them by clicking on it and you are there. Of course, this is just a copy from the original one, so whatever you do here will not affect the original repository. So no worries. You now have your own copy, and you can save it by going to Files and save a copy in GitHub or in a drive. And then later they explain if you would like to to load some private notebooks like your own, then you have to navigate there, like they say, to this link. So let's try together. We will click on this link. And then they told us to check this box here. And then you will have just, this will pop up by itself. And you will need to provide your own email address for GitHub and the password, and then you click sign in. Now they are asking us to authorize Google Colab. We'll click on that and you can see that we have our repository and the branch we want, and you can see your notebook here, and I can just click on it to open it in Google Colab. As you can see, I have it, and that's very good. You will of course receive an email from GitHub that is saying that you have shared your GitHub repository with somebody, and yeah, that is actually a good thing if you think about it. Very clever. Now you have your notebook opened from a GitHub repository, your own and a private one. Let's say I have run this cell and I have modified so many things and I played around this. What will happen to my GitHub repository? Actually, nothing will happen to your original one. It's totally a different copy. But if you would like to save the changes that you have made in this current notebook, let's change something here, maybe like just something here I have changed. Yeah. And now I have to, and I want to push this change to my GitHub repository. So I will need to go to File and then save a copy in GitHub. And this will show you the repository that you would like to change on, and the notebook that you are changing on, and the branch, and the commit message. Of course, you can change this commit message to whatever you would like, and yeah, why not? We can include a link to Collaboratory, and we click on OK. You can see that it's creating a copy. Your URL should open in a new window. If it doesn't, make sure. Actually, something happened up there, but I actually couldn't really follow, so I will click on reopen the link. And you can see that the URL to my GitHub repository is opening here, and you can see the link to the Colab and the change we have made. So that's cool, isn't it? And as we have seen in my GitHub repository, I had this Colab badge, so it will allow anyone else to just click on this badge and they will just go into Google Colab. You can basically do a similar thing with Dropbox, where you have a storage space up to 2 gigabytes, where you can put all your files you need there, and then you can use it from the Dropbox and work on it in Google Colab. And vice versa, you can also download all the testing results or pickle files or the PTH file or checkpoints to the Dropbox too. You can read up further information or have a look at the following repository, because I have only read about this thing from this GitHub repository. Just check it out. I honestly haven't tried it because you don't really need all of that. Mainly what I recommend to use is GitHub, of course, because we all use that all the time, and also the Google Drive is a very good solution. So that was all about getting your data. If we go back to the big picture where we wanted to build up a classifier, I will use these 3 cells. So I will need to get the data, the flowers data, and the JSON file. So we go back to our PyTorch classifier, where you can see that we had only the installation and the imports. Now we would like to download our data, right? So let's do it together. So I mainly will be using the same thing that we have done together. I will need the category to name JSON file and the flower data. So I will copy these 2 lines and paste that here. Why I am doing this, I know this will be uploaded to the virtual machine. That's fine, because this data is too small and it's not annoying. Even if they disappear, I can just download them again. They will only take a few seconds. But one thing to notice, that we have somehow our test and train and validation that we have already uploaded during our experiments. So we want these to go away. One simple solution is simply to go to runtime and then reset our runtimes, and then yes. I'm sorry I was a little bit fast, but when the message appeared, they told us that if you reset the runtimes, the data will disappear. And this is what I honestly wanted, because I wanted to start fresh with you again and have everything here. So now I can run these two lines to get out my data to the virtual machine, and now we are downloading them. As I told you, it has just finished, and you can see by refresh that the category to name, JSON file, and the flower data is there. Again, we will need to unzip the tar file by using this code, and we need a new cell. We paste and we run. Again, to see, refresh, you have the test, train, validation, and but now we don't really need this folder, so we will have to copy this line to remove the tar file. We add a new code cell and we paste and we run. See the change, refresh. Now we are ready for our classifier. And the next time I will be mainly explaining what this classifier that we are building is going to do. What is it about and what is the idea behind it. I just started by telling you about installation and importing, but I have forgot to tell you about the classifier itself. What is the point of using it, and um, what is the goal of building this classifier and such things. So just watch the next video and you will know all about this classifier, and we will be starting the real work. So I hope you have learned something. This is honestly what I have learned, and I have tried to collect all my experience in one notebook so I can share it with you. I hope you like it. If you know some good trick, please just share with me so everyone can learn, or just put it in the comments below, or just ask me to add it to the notebook or something. I would be happy to hear from you. So that was it for this video. I thank you for watching and hope to see you in the next time. Goodbye.